Hello and welcome to the Channel 1 Newsroom from our studios at number 5 Ola Hansen Lane at Tesano in Accra. I am Umaru Sanda Amadou. Coming up, frustrated motorists who ply Kaswa Winneba Highway mount pressure on government to complete project immediately.
It is a problem. I don't know this road every day, heavy traffic here. I stay around this. I use this road every day. And every day, you be in the traffic for about 4 hours, 3 hours. What is this?
President Mahama blames recent rains on stalled big push projects.
So the big push projects around the country have slowed a bit because of the heavy rainfall we've been experiencing recently. I'm sure that as soon as rainfall subsides, work will continue because the money for the big push has been allocated and it is lying there. As soon as you bring your certificate, we promise that it will be processed within time and you get your.
Government announces plans to review rent law to protect tenants against exorbitant charges.
I wish to inform this Honorable House that the Ministry has initiated a comprehensive review of the existing rent laws. Mr. Speaker, the review seeks to repeal the Rent Act 1963 as amended, together with the Rent Control Law 1986, and replace them with a modern Consolidated Rent Act.
Editor of the Herald newspaper Larry Alansdogbe granted a 100,000 cedi bail after he was sentenced to 7 days in prison. In Channel 1 Business, traders blame weather conditions and transport for cost movements under Channel 1 Market Price Barometer. And in Channel 1 Sports, Black Stars coach Carlos Queiroz confident of victory on Saturday. We are grateful that you join us for the Channel 1 Newsroom on Channel 1 Television. Now, frustration among commuters using the Kaswa-Malam Junction stretch continue to mount due to persistent traffic congestion and slow vehicular movement. Many commuters say they are spending far longer than usual hours on the road, a situation that is taking a toll on their work, businesses, and family lives. Our Central Regional correspondent Akwesiado visited the affected stretch and brings us this report.
Slow pace of eastbound traffic, that is from Kaswa towards Accra, it begins from the toll booth area through to Aigbe town and then to the Western Small area, SEC Junction, and then to Old Barrier. In fact, it moves beyond this stretch and then heads towards the Malam Junction and then the Malam Interchange area. This has been a prevailing situation, but only becoming worse in the last week.
For some time it has been terrible. We set off from Kaswa and it's about an hour and over. We still not gotten to our destination.
I don't know this road every day, heavy traffic here. I stay around this. I use this road every day. And every day, you be in the traffic for about 4 hours, 3 hours. What is this?
When we get to toll booth, you face a situation or a problem over there. That's the portals over there. And I think that from here to, is it Atala Junction also, we also have a problem over there.
The frustration as a result of the long hours in traffic cuts even more deeper for people who operate their businesses in Accra.
Affecting our productivity because you use an hour or more in traffic. So if authority could come to our aid.
4 or 7 days, in Accra. We have a do Accra, 2-3 hours, and some will be do Accra. Go ahead, engage in any Nako. Sikana Obaji or Nipan and now a be cry and so forth.
We are here from the top of the Akwasa Hills, closer to the toll booth. And the problem that is being caused on the toll booth broadcasting section is largely being caused by activities here uphill. Just as you can see, even at this present location, an individual is in the process of preparing the area to put up a property here. Even though residents of the area are complaining, or they keep complaining and drawing the attention of authorities, not much has been done to curb these practices here uphill. This is the famous Atala spot. That area has become the biggest problem on this very stretch, and the situation keeps frustrating drivers. Just as you can see, there is this heated argument between police officers and then this driver.
My problem is you just allow me to pass here. It's just simple as that.
Okay.
And you, the police officer, you are fighting with me. Why?
Okay. So why don't you climb this area?
The car cannot do it. The car, it can go.
I had say, what about Pia one side? Now you're messing. Let's see the other side. No, what block here? What's the empire? Obi so Lord no or the before radio ya. Enye juri never juri. Me a scraps dealer.
Okay.
By ya lodu nyame fi ade su ton. Ana ye de aba. Kwan ni ntino nyama ni nyina gu fam. Over nyama na egu ho no. Ba jo an nyama na egu ho no. Ana ye no.
Ye bon pa say we no kra ni nsuo to an wash no. Because nsuo to a nsuo e fa ha na timi pagya ka kra ntino enya de a be last kra.
The most reliable option for easy and faster commuting has now become the use of Okada or motorbikes. And this system is also having its own safety issues.
You see, I say traffic actually, there's something in but also sometimes very risky. Because we beat me track when one shall now they are
Same situation, same reactionary measure for this problem, which has existed for over a decade. The frustration keeps growing. People are now calling on authorities to take concrete steps to deal with the problem. For the Channel 1 Newsroom, I am Akwesi Ado.
Now, government says there will be no major renegotiations or conditions of service across the public sector in 2026, describing the move as part of a broader effort to reform Ghana's public sector compensation system. The Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, who announced this, said instead government will introduce targeted and modest improvements to selected allowances as an interim measure. Channel 1 News' Volta regional correspondent Desmond Selasiago has more in this report.
The 2026 Annual Labour Conference in Ho has seen government outline its approach to public sector compensation, indicating a suspension of major salary renegotiations for the year while introducing limited adjustments to selected allowances as part of ongoing reforms to the national emoluments frameworks. Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman says the temporary intervention is expected to provide the necessary space for the new compensation framework to take effect. The Vice President acknowledged that although some progress has been made in improving public sector emoluments, the compensation structure has come under significant strain over the years.
In the interest of stability and responsible fiscal management, government has also proposed that 2026, this year, will not be a year for major renegotiation of conditions of service across the public sector. Instead, targeted and modest improvements to selected allowances will be implemented as an interim measure while the foundational reforms to our emolument systems are completed.
Minister for Labour, Jobs and Employment, Dr. Rashid Pelpo reaffirmed the government's commitment to maintaining open and continuous dialogue with organized labor and employers to minimize industrial disputes and avoid strike actions.
The government remains committed to strengthening social dialogue as the foundation of sound labor governance. Our role is to ensure that workers concerned are heard, the legitimate interests of employers are recognized, and disputes are resolved. The government are committed in ensuring that strikes become a thing of the past.
However, the General Secretary of the Trade Union Congress, TUC, Joshua Ansah, warned that organized labor would not hesitate to resort to strike actions if negotiations fails to provide fair outcomes. He said, industrial action remains a legitimate means of protecting the rights and welfare of workers when dialogue does not yield satisfactory results.
If you push us to the wall, you will strike. We are only happy because we think that we are not gotten there yet. But if they push us there, we will strike. But that's the only way we can redeem our rights. Let us continue to have fair discussions, fair conclusions, and there will be no strike in this country.
Now, the Minister for Works, Housing and Water Resources, Gilbert Kenneth Ejay, says the government is taking steps to reform Ghana's rent regulatory framework to reflect current realities in the housing sector. Addressing Parliament, he noted that the proposed legislation will strengthen protections for low-income and vulnerable tenants while also ensuring a fair balance between tenants and property owners. Channel 1 News' Ni Aikwe Okain reports.
The Minister for Works, Housing and Water Resources, Kenneth Gilbert Ejay, disclosed to Parliament that efforts are underway to reform Ghana's rent regulatory framework.
The Ministry recognizes that the current rent regulatory framework is outdated, having been in existence for 63 years, and does not adequately respond to the realities of Ghana's evolving housing market. I wish to inform this Honourable House that the Ministry has initiated a comprehensive review of the existing rent laws. Mr. Speaker, the review seeks to repeal the Rent Act 1963 as amended, together with the Rent Control Law 1986, and replace them with a modern Consolidated Rent Act. The new legal framework is designed to address the persistent constraints within the current regime, harmonize all related laws governing rental housing, and introduce appropriate incentives to stimulate private sector investment in the rental housing market.
He said the proposed reforms are aimed at preventing arbitrary rent increases and addressing unfair practices within the rental sector.
The proposed legislation will uphold and strengthen protections for low-income and vulnerable tenants. It is structured to guard against abuse, arbitrary rent increases, and unfair rental practices, while at the same time ensuring a balanced framework that recognizes the legitimate interest of property owners. Mr. Speaker, the drafting of the new legislative framework is currently at an advanced stage to be submitted soon to Cabinet for approval and subsequently to Parliament for consideration. Speaker, we plan to bring it during this second session after a Cabinet approves it.
The minister also stated that the Greater Accra Resilient and Integrated Development GARID project, which includes solid waste management, drainage improvements, and other flood mitigation measures, is expected to be completed by December 2027 to help reduce flooding in Accra, particularly within the Odo River Basin.
Mr. Speaker, the desilting and dredging contract for the Odo River is being implemented as part of the GARID project. The project commenced in February 2024 and is scheduled to be completed by December 2027, with resources allocated under the GARID project.
Now, aspiring constituency executives of the New Patriotic Party in the Ashanti region are urging the party leadership to do all they can to unite the rank and file ahead of the 2028 general elections. The call was heightened during the party's vetting for constituency executives in the region. Channel 1 News' Ashanti regional correspondent Tawfiq Mohammed has more in this report.
Speaking to Channel 1 News, the aspiring constituency secretary for Asanwase, Mohammed Lamin Awal Jarrah, said the party is currently facing a crisis and needs unity to reverse its declining electoral fortunes from 2020 to 2024. Mr. Jarrah stated that disunity among the rank and file is affecting the party. He cautioned party members against ethnic and tribal politics, describing such acts as irrelevant to winning the parliamentary seat in 2028.
Personally, I don't have any issue with my former PC, Honorable Manaf Ibrahim. He's been a boss and somebody we all look up to. I work tirelessly for the party, intellectually, physically, and the resources, the little resources I have, I've committed everything in the run-up to the campaign until the campaign was done, the elections was concluded. I think I informed him about my decision to contest, but he gave his reservation and his direction. I believe that it is time for me to put myself forward to the electorate to vote for me, to lead the MPP as the constituency secretary.
Also, the aspiring first vice chairman of the New Patriotic Party, NPP, in the Asawase constituency, Matthew Emisa, acknowledged that disunity remains the major problem blocking the progress of the party. He disclosed that the incumbent member of parliament and Minister of Interior, Muntaka Mohammed Mubarak, is facing mounting pressure from the ground within its party.
I have worked with the people, both factions. There are so many factions within it. I've worked with all of them, and they know that I can, play a role to bring them together. And I think if I'm able to do that, I think the ultimate, that is the seat, will be our next target.
Meanwhile, the aspiring constituency secretary for Manso Edubia, Enchuprempe Joseph, said unity among party executive is critical to winning back power in 2028. According to him, the NPP cannot develop or return to government without cohesion between executives and members in the party.
We believed that the system we are running now, we've gone past the old, the archaic way of doing things. Everything must be done digitally. And I believe that with digitization, we can move ahead. And then the party is not exception. As far as we are concerned, we believe that the NPP as a political party is moving towards gearing what we believe the party must be in its position to make sure that we come back to power.
The aspiring deputy secretary of the party in Manso Edubia, Eric Che-Bafo, stressed to ensure the youth takes an active part in the running of the party.
One of my key visions is teamwork. So as a deputy secretary, I have my core mandate, day-to-day administration of the party. But when I get the chance and win this election, I hope to work as a team.
Now, government has pledged to strengthen the fight against illicit drug trafficking through tougher legislation and enhanced law enforcement measures. Speaking at a Durban to commemorate the 2026 World Drug Day in Accra, the Chief of Staff, Julius Deborah, expressed concern about the growing impact of drug abuse on the youth development and national progress. There's more in the following report.
NACOC, together with other security agencies, has stepped up efforts to combat illicit drug trafficking in recent times. This includes the arrest of an alleged kingpin linked to the seizure of approximately 320 kilograms of methamphetamine concealed in a charcoal shipment from Ghana and intercepted in Australia. Addressing participants at the 2026 World Drug Day celebration, the Chief of Staff, Julius Deborah, reiterated government's commitment to intensifying the crackdown on drug trafficking through effective law enforcement and stronger regulatory measures.
The government of Ghana will not allow criminal enterprises to undermine our communities, endanger our youth, and compromise our national security. It will not happen under the watch of President Mahama. Those who seek to enrich themselves through the trafficking of illicit drugs must understand that the full force of the law will be brought to bear against them.
Leadership of NACOC announced the deployment of drug scanners at the Accra International Airport as part of efforts to strengthen existing drug detection systems and improve broader security.
The government of Ghana has provided mobile drug detection scanners to NACOC just yesterday, and in collaboration with the government of the Kingdom of Netherlands, is undertaking the full replacement of the body and baggage intrusive scanners at the Accra International Airport, which have been non-operational for over 3 years. The new systems are expected to be fully installed and operational by August 2026, thereby restoring Ghana's permanent fiscal border interdiction capabilities.
Meanwhile, Minister for Education Haruna Idrisu has directed public schools to enforce strict disciplinary measures, including possible dismissal against students found using illicit drugs.
The GES has my firm instructions, authority and mandate under their law to exact the highest punishment to any student caught with drugs in school, and not to hesitate in punishing that person, even if it means dismissal of that student.
You're watching Channel 1 Newsroom on Channel 1 Television. I am Umaru Sandamado. We are broadcasting from our studios here at number 5 Ola Hansen Lane at Tesano in Accra. Now, road medians and pedestrian pavements are increasingly being overtaken by overgrown weeds, fallen trees, abandoned signposts, logs and refuse. Residents are therefore calling for urgent action to restore the affected roads and improve safety. Rachel Engman has more.
Across several major roads, medians and pavements intended to separate traffic and provide safe walkways are gradually becoming obstacles. Overgrown vegetation, tree branches, discarded logs, damaged signposts and piles of refuse now occupy spaces designed to protect both pedestrians and motorists. For many pedestrians, the blocked walkways leave little choice but to walk along the edges of busy roads, often weaving through moving traffic to continue their journeys.
It's difficult for us to make our way out as these pavements are bushy. So some of these things, it makes maybe pedestrians to choose to go to the main street or the main road to walk. Some of these things can bring about accidents.
So we plead the government to come help us take care of the refuse on the pavements for us so we can get enough space and then get fresh air as we are passing by.
Motorists say the situation poses an equally serious danger with overgrown medians and objects left along roadsides, restricting visibility at intersections, U-turns and bends, making it difficult to spot approaching vehicles and increasing the likelihood of collisions.
Sometimes it affects visibility as drivers because there might be a turn which we might take, whether left or right, and due to the bush or the weeds that has grown, it covers the sign post at some vantage point, so it doesn't allow we drivers to know what is at stake ahead of us.
Sanitation workers say the challenge is compounded by indiscriminate dumping of refuse and the rapid growth of weeds during the rainy season.
The problem that we are facing is some of them are putting the rubbish inside the pavement. That rubbish belongs to house. People are carrying their rubbish from house to come and put it for the pavement. At the end of the day, they were doing the complaints that assembly didn't take the responsibility of the rubbish.
Some municipal authorities acknowledge the growing concern, but point out that visibility for road maintenance is shared. They explain that while the Ghana Highway Authority maintains highways, metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies are responsible for roads and medians within their jurisdictions.
The highways are done by the Ghana Highway Authority. Then for those that are within the municipalities, that is the area to area, it is assembly that takes responsibility. But more often, when the highways have not even done it, which they do periodically, since I came, they have weeded from all the way the Dimples roundabout to above overhead. But when you get to the Akwiteman stretch, you realize that there's no weeds. But from the La Paz going to Nyamiche, all the way to Malam Junction they have been weeding. But the onset of the rain has also caused rapid growth of the weeds.
In the situation we find ourselves today, we've tasked the NADMO coordinator because we realized that during this rainy season, we've experienced about 3 of our neem trees falling down. So we've charged the NADMO coordinator and his team to make sure that we trim all our neem trees along the Dakuman to Nyamiche High Street and then from Kwashiman to Odoko High Street.
For many road users, road safety begins with clear medians and pavements. Reporting for Channel 1 News, I am Rachel Engman.
And here in our studios at number 5 Ola Hansen Lane at Tessan in Accra, I am Umaru Sandamadi. You're watching Channel 1 Newsroom on Channel 1 Television. Still ahead. Traders blame weather conditions and transport for cost movements under Channel 1 Market Price Barometer. More on that when we return. Please stay with us.
This July, get ready for stories that will make your heart race. From love and passion to secrets and lies that can ruin everything. Catch the sizzling episodes of Sins and Roses at 4 p.m, Domenica Monteiro at 5 p.m, Be My Sunshine at 6 p.m, and Avenida Brazil at 7 p.m, Central African Time. Only on Novelas Plus, Channel 133 on DSTV.
This is the old way. Let me show you a new and a better way. EduPack.
EduPack?
Yes, EduPack. A GS-approved and supported initiative for all first-year students going to SHS by Prospectus Ghana Limited. Now you don't need to go to the market. All your trunks, mattresses, pillows, including plastic chalkboards, are all waiting for your child at the school. Note, all our wooden chalkboards are being changed to plastic ones to avoid bedbugs.
You can also register by dialing *713*821# following the prompts, or you can visit www.edupackgh.com and tap register. You can also register at any ADB branch near you at a very affordable price. EduPack, approved and supported by GES.
Imagine a life where every moment flows effortlessly, where every choice brings you closer to the life you've always wanted. Give yourself more ways to receive joy. Have more time to party. With G Money, every moment flows seamlessly. Just pay and keep the good vibes going. Instantly top up airtime or data so you never miss life's special moments, because your memories together should matter more. Give yourself more freedom to celebrate. Pay bills quickly and seamlessly so nothing disrupts your moments. Have more financial control. With G Money, you can effortlessly manage bulk payments and keep your business running smoothly. Dial *488# or download the app and explore the new G Money today. G Money. Give yourself more.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson, Asamo.
Me didn't tum. Mr. Friendly Calico, just call me cockroach. Now, Mr. Friendly once now.
Hey, that's you.
Improve car.
Yeah.
Captain Mosquito, double the action. Me did this sasso spray. Mr. Friendly sasso quell. Yeah, go to my sasso.
Sasso, come tum preko.
Ready through a 10 years simani sui doctor say me nkoye operation cataract surgery ni through
minia ustro sesen sisi ya Dr. Agawa ama operation ya yes simple okrom ha won say sisi ya de no ABS
eno so ne de
ABS na chere say no anesthesia no bleeding no suture ult na hospital hokra nche obeji di say nra mekoye surgery
sa
ene se me di ye medwuma na yi se me ni da hokle
wow na simple sa o say hospital by no
Dr. Agawa's Eye Hospital e Bentesano Police Station wa Frewen Neya was 0501-534-498 and 0553-019-311.
Dr. Agawa's Eye Hospital for eyes like new.
Yeah, welcome back. Up next is Channel 1 Business with Netele Neti Ajaho.
CNR Business is brought to you by EcoBank.
Hello, my name is Pamela from Customer Service. Please revalidate your account by texting your Ghana card number to 0500,000 247.
Hey, Abili, wabadim.
Madam, give me the numbers behind your ATM card. I'm calling from the head office.
An email was delivered across to our customers this morning.
Confirm if this is your bank account. 100,100,100.
Thanks for sending your bank card details.
Send the OTP now to avoid cancellation.
EcoBank will never call, email, send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card, or Ghana card details.
Don't get played. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hello, please, I'm calling from Customer Experience Center.
And Natalie is in studio. Natalie, please give us the stories you have in business for us.
Let's get straight to it. And after 4 days of tracking movements in food, fresh produce, and energy and construction inputs across major markets, the Channel 1 market price barometer now turns from the numbers to the people behind them. While the June data showed easing in some commodities and increases in others, traders say the reality on the ground goes beyond price tags, shaped by weather conditions, transport costs, and supply challenges. Here's more.
The June edition of the Channel 1 Market Price Barometer pointed to a mixed pricing environment across Accra's market, with some commodities offering relief, while others continue to put pressure on household budgets. For traders, one of the clearest explanations is changing supply conditions. Monica, who sells cassava and plantain, says the rains have created different outcomes for different crops.
Banchine buono asesa enti se first ni biem anchine buono aba from demobia timi tobi wo the 5 cedis ba wo be wo fufuo wo the 10 cedis ba wo benya banche 5 body F5 e wo mala market ya
na pacho plantain nso
plantain na tese nsuo ni nti ne buono akosoro ha nkrasefo na ekofa ba no kire se nsuo ni yiri sa na omo ntimi nkofuo.
While cassava prices have eased due to improved availability, tomatoes continue to tell a different story. Florence, a tomato trader, says weather alone cannot explain rising prices.
Ghana
When if doma enya Burkina
doma omo the brand 65 almost 70
then 65
adaka no bebua wo aye say irrigation e farms ya omo ye ya o be yi ho gates ni ade na say the nsuo no obekọ so na nsuo no betumi ya afa ni we na ense ne dia nka e benya ni say nsuo na ma no bo na de nya hwe.
But for some traders, market prices are not only determined at the farm gate. Alberta Agri, who sells fruits and vegetables, says despite recent reductions in fuel prices, transportation costs remain elevated and continue to feed into final consumer prices.
Na nyoma no so ko fa de ba driver for no sania ka petrol ba for me anka se o ma fare ne ba for no mo nya ne sa amaye e kwanso for ne de nyoma ne ba lolly fa o mutua no watermelon kai say uko krom na wo hu say watermelon kai is o lolly fa o mutua ne nya agro enti o mo so o mo ntumi nka so o tue ska kese no ono so betete so aton no fofofo enti na manuoma no ekọ soro nti esra aban so obehwe na driver for no ono omo akasa na nuoma no omo fagu car no mo be ma price na aba from ne enso yekofa enso yetumi ama price no aba from.
Beyond food, pressures within the energy basket were also reflected in the market. Aisha, a charcoal trader, says sourcing challenges and cross-border supply dynamics continue to influence prices.
Adana mama bidie ne boy de sa bidie no mo kwahye na wo Burkina ana mo de aba ha ya Ghana ho soso ye nye bidie wo
Ghana ye ni bidie mo kwafa
Burkina
nti ya basa na obi pe 5 cedi sa wonye
5 cedi ayanwa mo se sakatan katan se ya ma
Butter ya 1.5.
Now, technical advisor at the Ministry of Energy and Green Transitions, Dr. Yusuf Suleimana, says declining global crude oil prices and plans to refine more locally produced crude are expected to ease pressure on fuel prices and provide some relief for consumers at the pumps. His comments follow President John Dramani Mahama's sword curtain ceremony for Phase 2 of the Central Oil Refinery project in Tema on Thursday. There's more in this report.
According to Dr. Yusuf Suleimana, the expansion represents a major milestone for Ghana's downstream petroleum sector, as the refinery's full capacity would be sufficient to meet a significant portion of the country's daily petroleum product demand.
Our daily consumption, so far as the downstream is concerned, ranges around that neighborhood of 100,000 barrels of equivalent oil production. And so if, let's say, a local refinery can be able to produce, to be able to meet a local requirement, that has a lot of significance and a lot of positive connotations. One, the fact that we are using our local crude to do this job is going to create a lot of jobs. The value chain will have a lot of products that will be able to use within the allied industries within the enclave.
Dr. Yusuf Suleimana further noted that the easing of global market pressures to levels seen before recent geopolitical disruptions provides additional support for the local refining agenda.
First, crude oil prices coming down a little bit, that makes it easier to even bring this crude oil to refine locally, And number two, also, it impacts the pumps undoubtedly, because whatever we pay at the pump has to do with whatever raw material, the cost of the raw material that is being sent to do the refining locally. And so with crude oil prices going down, and we also strategizing to ensure that our locally produced crude oil is refined in our local round refineries, is going to guarantee us holistic energy security. The pressures at the pumps undoubtedly are going to be something that will be accommodating to the consumer.
Let's now bring you an update on crude oil prices and how the local currency is performing on the interbank market. And that's all for business. I am Netali Netiajahu. Back to you, Sanda.
Thank you so much, Netali, with the latest in the world of business. So some other stories now. The government has pledged support to ensure the sustainable operation of waste transfer stations across the country as part of efforts to improve waste collection and address growing sanitation challenges. The assurance was given by the Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Ahmed Ibrahim, during a visit to the recently reopened Zoom Park Waste Transfer Station at Achimota. There's more in this report by John Edujiboja and read by Manuel Ayama.
Commissioned in 2015, the Zoom Park Waste Transfer Station was established to improve waste collection and transportation in Accra by serving as an intermediate point where refuse is consolidated before being hauled to final disposal sites. However, the facility was forced to suspend operations due to high operational costs. During a visit to the station, the Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Ahmed Ibrahim, announced plans for a cost-sharing arrangement involving government, the Jospon Group of companies and tricycle waste operators to ensure the long-term sustainability of waste transfer stations. He said the facilities have become increasingly important as rapid urbanization leaves limited space for waste disposal within cities, adding that government is committed to strengthening the country's waste management infrastructure.
Transfer station is the one that has come because we live in an era where cities are growing uncontrollably, and therefore the era whereby we used to throw refuse anywhere is a thing of the past. So there must be a transfer station which is closer to the houses. So when the tricycle operators take the refuse from the houses, they bring them here. And if we are able to handle this place very well, you will not be seeing refuse being poured on the roadside and just like that. So as a government, we will partner with Jospon group of companies in finding a lasting solution to the cost structure that will facilitate the smooth running of this facility.
Meanwhile, Executive Chairman of the Jospon Group of Companies, Dr. Joseph Siang Ejapon, is calling on government to subsidize sanitation and waste management services, arguing that sanitation is an essential public service rather than a commercial enterprise. He noted that governments in countries such as China and Turkey shoulder a significant share of sanitation costs and urged government to adopt a similar approach to ensure efficient and sustainable waste management.
Sometimes they come here and we are supposed to charge about 185 cedis, 200 cedis. They can't pay. Then they have to go to the bush and then dump it there. That's all. For them, they will be able to pay 30 cedis, 40 cedis. If you come and you charge them and they can't pay, they will just go and park it anywhere into the drain, gutter, anywhere. And that's the cause of this all. So we are very happy that the Minister of Local Government, Religious Affairs, Chief Justice of Religious Affairs was here. We have discussed with him that government should take up the subsidy as is being done in the practice of sanitation and waste management worldwide.
Now, President John Dramani Mahama has assured Ghanaians that work on the government's flagship Big Push infrastructure projects will resume at full pace once the heavy rains subside. He gave the assurance during his Resetting Ghana tour of the Central Region. Channel 1 News' presidential correspondent Akosia Ochri reports.
Another day, another working visit for President John Dramani Mahama as his Resetting Ghana tour took him to the Central Region. His first stop was at Asimbreku, where he performed the sword-cutting ceremony for the construction of a 24-hour economy market. He proceeded to Abrasibu Kwamankesi district to commission a CHIPS compound and presented free primary healthcare kits to support healthcare delivery in the area. A key highlight of the day was the inspection of key road projects, including the Kafojiji Abransa Road and the Nathor Polycarp Hostel Road. Addressing concerns over the pace of work on major road projects, President Mahama explained that the current slowdown is temporary.
A lot of the big push projects around the country have slowed a bit because of the heavy rainfall we've been experiencing recently. I'm sure that as soon as rainfall subsides, work will continue because the money for the big push has been allocated and it is lying there. As soon as you bring your certificate, you promise that it will be processed within time and you get your money quickly. And so the contractors should speed up so that they can present their certificates and be paid so that they go back to work.
The president also visited the Cape Coast Castle, where he witnessed a reenactment depicting the experiences of enslaved Africans.
White man from across the seas, you may consume the fire of our tomorrow and shift generations of our future until the downkeep of history for scavengers to feed upon.
Minister for Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts appealed to traditional leaders to support government efforts to preserve the country's historical and cultural heritage.
UNESCO has listed this facility, and it is important that as a people we obey the framework within which UNESCO has listed this place. So Nana, as I address His Excellency the President, I address you too. UNESCO has indicated that the buffer around the facility, around this castle, be cleared. We stand the risk of being delisted if we do not obey them. So, Ohene, mapacho pi, maba mabesro, na bwam, na mayemeju mama waso, President Nenyua.
The president further assured Ghanaians that adequate budgetary allocations will be made to support the preservation.
We have to keep it in a certain standard so that it qualifies to be listed. And so just last week, no, actually this week on Wednesday, we held a cabinet meeting, and the Minister for Tourism and Creative Arts brought a report about the state of the forts and castles and the threats by UNESCO to delist our forts and castles from the historical heritage list. And so since we're coming to Cape Coast, we put it as part of the program to come and look at the state of the castle. But I can be sure that in next year's budget, we're going to make adequate provision to restore this place so that we keep it listed as a historical site.
Now, journalist and editor of the Herald newspaper, Larry Alansdogbe, has been granted bail after he was jailed for contempt of court. He was granted bail in the sum of 100,000 cedis with 2 sureties. The bail is valid for 10 days. There's more in this report.
Mr. Dogbe was sentenced to 7 days in prison on Thursday, June 25, by an Accra High Court presided over by Justice Isaac Addo after being found guilty of contempt over publications relating to a legal dispute between businessman Kevin Ottery, the founder and chief executive officer of Springfield Exploration and Production Limited, and Petraco SA. The contempt charges stemmed from articles published by the Herald newspaper regarding a petition filed by Petraco SA against Mr. Ottery. According to the court, Mr. Dogbe failed to comply with an interlocutory injunction restraining him from publishing further statements on the matter. Despite Mr. Dogbe's arguments during cross-examination that he was not served with a notice to cease further publication, Justice Isaac Addo ordered that a warrant of committal be issued immediately to the Director General of the Ghana Prison Service or his designated officers to enforce the sentence. In a court document cited by Channel 1 News, the court ordered that interim bail be granted to Mr. Dogbe. The court also asked Larry Dogbe to repeat this application on notice and same served on the applicant before the expiration of the 10 days period given. President of the Private Newspapers and Online News Publishers Association of Ghana, David Tamaklo, speaking on the matter, clarified that Larry Dogbe's 10-day bail is conditional on the filing of a substantive appeal, failing which the journalist will return to custody.
I believe that we as a society must understand the role of the media. We are the gatekeepers, so we meet all kinds of things. We are there in the interest of the states, and sometimes we get it wrong, sometimes we get it right, but they should not be in a hurry to throw us under the bus. This is not one of the situations that journalists should be thrown under the bus. I think he should have been considered. The fact that he's a journalist doing this on behalf of the state, I think that the judge should have been a little more compassionate.
You're watching Channel 1 Newsroom on Channel 1 Television. Still to come, Black Stars coach Carlos Queiroz confident of victory on Saturday. More on that when we come back. Please stay.
This July, get ready for stories that will make your heart race. From love and passion to secrets and lies that can ruin everything. Catch the sizzling episodes of Sins and Roses at 4 p.m, Domenica Monteiro at 5 p.m, Be My Sunshine at 6 p.m, and Avenida Brazil at 7 p.m, Central African Time. Only on Novelas Plus, Channel 134 on GoTV.
The best part of going home is family.
Sit up! Hey, mommy, my wife is cooking something delicious. We're here.
Lizzy hot pepper sauce, spicy. Bona yete, Lizzy oh Lizzy.
Lizzy Shito, the Shito is Shito. Lizzy Shito, overfill.
Lizzy Shito. Please, can I take some to school tomorrow?
Yes, my son, you can. Lizzy Shito dear. Ebesu obiasu.
Lizzy Shito hot pepper sauce. Yes, spicy and
Lizzy Shito hot pepper sauce. Yes, spicy.
For bulk purchase,
kindly contact 050-168-3344 or 050-155-0998. This advert is FDA approved.
Upper East Rising, Pale Framework 2026 to 2035. Prosperity through enterprise, agriculture, resilience, and livelihoods. The future begins now. For generations, the Upper East region has been rich in culture, agriculture, enterprise, and human potential. Today, a new chapter begins. Join industry leaders, policymakers, development partners, investors, and innovators as we unveil a bold 10-year development framework designed to unlock billions in investment opportunities, create sustainable jobs, transform agriculture, strengthen local industries, and improve livelihoods across all 15 districts of the Upper East region. The date is June 29 to July 1, 2026. The venue is Desert Pastures Auditorium in Bolgatanga. The time, 9 a.m. prompt. Pearl, building prosperity from our strength. Pearl, building the Upper East we deserve. This forum is under the auspices of the Upper East Regional Coordinating Council, members of Parliament from the Upper East region, and the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana. Media partners, City FM and Channel 1 TV.
Joe Metal Ministries presents Praise Reloaded 2026. Theme: The River. On Sunday, the 28th of June 2026. Featuring Eugene Zuta, Daughters of Glorious Jesus, Sumi Baby, Prosper Ochimana, and your host Joe Metal at the Accra Sports Stadium. Gates opening at 1 p.m. Event starts at 3 p.m. Also ministering Bethel Revival Choir. Rate is free, but registration is required. Visit www.joemetalmusic.com to register. Sponsors, media partners. For more information and sponsorship, call +233 249 915 774. Join us on Sunday, June 28th at 3 p.m. at the Accra Sports Stadium. Spread the word, invite friends and family, and be part of what promises to be the most powerful Praise Reloaded yet. This event is powered by Reverb Studios.
Yeah, welcome back. Up next is Channel 1 Sports with Bernard Abekwatri.
Ghana faced Croatia on Saturday night in Philadelphia in their final Group L fixture at the 2026 FIFA World Cup, with qualification for the round of 32 still on the line. The Black Stars head into match day 3 in second place on 4 points, level with group leaders England, but behind on goal difference. Croatia revived their campaign with a narrow win over Panama and sits third with 3 points, leaving Group L delicately poised ahead of the final round. Speaking ahead of the fixture, Ghana's head coach Carlos Queiroz says his side remains focused on finishing the job.
Oh, they have great players. And of course, the player that you mentioned, it is one of the most brilliant players in football history in the last few years. But we know that they have a good team. They play good football against England. I think after I saw the game several times, they even deserve a better result. I think the result for 2 was too heavy for Croatia. That's why we are full alert. We know that result doesn't really show the capabilities of Croatia, and they prove it against Panama. So that's why tomorrow we only have one option. We have to come out more strong and better. That's the only option that we have. And the game after, we need to come out more strong and better, and more strong and better. Every day, every match, we have to grow up.
Meanwhile, Ghana's forward Antoine Semenyo says team success remains his priority despite adapting to a more defensive role under head coach Carlos Queiroz at this year's World Cup. Semenyo was asked about the mindset required in Ghana's tactical setup after arriving at the tournament in strong scoring form following productive spells at Bournemouth and Manchester City. The forward says personal numbers are secondary and insists the focus remains on delivering for the collective.
I mean, I've said it in the pre.
Want to catch us, huh?
I mean, I just have to be ready at the end of the day. I think I'm content in the sense of doing what the team needs, of course. But then as a striker, you always have to be ready. That one chance can change the whole game. So I'm always on my toes in that sense, mentally ready. And yeah, I think what the team needs is more important, and the goals will follow.
Hopefully Ghana gets the required point to sail through to the next phase of the competition. But that will be the very latest from the world of sport. And I am Bernard Abigotri.
Well, that's it for Channel 1 Newsroom on Channel 1 Television. Visit our website, channel1newsonline.com, for information on our top stories and more. Subscribe to Channel 1 TV on YouTube for more exclusive video content from Channel 1 TV. Download the Channel 1 Newsroom app on Google Play Store. I am Umaru Sandamadu. Many thanks for watching us.
Get ready this July to step into a world where culture meets commerce, ideas turn into opportunities, and Made in Ghana takes the spotlight like never before. Welcome to the Northern Business Fair 2026. For 2 powerful days, the Jubilee Park will transform into a buzzing hub of creativity, innovation, and enterprise from the Savannah, Northern, Northeast, Upper East, and Upper West regions. From beautifully crafted products, innovative packaging, fast-growing local brands, and indigenous corporate bodies, every stand will tell a story of passion, resilience, and growth. This is not just a fair, it's a full experience. It's a place to discover, a place to connect, a place to grow. This is your chance to engage with Ghana's most exciting SMEs, startups, and homegrown brands all in one vibrant space. Dates Saturday 25th and Sunday 26th July 2026. Venue Jubilee Park, Tamale. Time 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. Are you ready to showcase your business to the nation and beyond? Call 0205-973-973 now and secure your spot. Don't sit on the sidelines. Be part of the energy. Be part of the story. The Northern Business Fair